The 910 Comedy
Podcast Network.
Welcome to Marital Tips, where we invite you into our marriage to debate the not-so-important topics, discuss each other, and more. I'm Tim.
I'm Karen.
And we're a couple of married geeks who often get very passionate when we disagree about the super important topics like our favorite TV shows, personality traits, and whether Cosmo knows what people really want out of a relationship.
They're going to try to tell you, and God bless them. I mean, they have a job to do, and they're at least, if not helpful, entertaining.
And hey, we're back.
We're back. We missed you guys.
We took a week off. You know, it was a very busy week with my birthday and the 4th of July and everything going on. So we kind of just needed a little bit of a break. We've been going pretty solid for 2 months now.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of taking like a social media break in general. Like I have deactivated my Facebook for like a little while now, like, which I think you said the other day you tried to tag me in something and it let you. So
it at least pulled your name up. I don't know if it actually did or not.
The rest of your friends list, to their knowledge, you still exist. And I'm sure I'll be back. I don't think this is forever, like a dramatic, like, I'm leaving social media. But, like, pretty much my only interactions on social media at this point is, like, with, like, celebrities that I follow on Instagram. And for the purposes of our podcast. But, I mean, breaks are good sometimes, like, in general.
I don't know that I could do it. I am so, like, intertwined with all the pages and stuff that I've run and everything that social media is kind of just very heavy for me.
I know, and that's, like, the thing about addiction. Like, not saying you specifically, but I think that a lot of people, like, they go to... And it's like an immediate thing. Like they just go to open their social media, like when they're bored or they're just sitting around or whatever, which is like in a way like an addictive thing, like not to the negative connotation that it sometimes has. But I mean, it was hard for like a couple days, but it's been a few weeks now and I'm pretty okay, actually. Like,
yeah. I think for me, it's just important that I choose to not engage in certain things.
Yeah, it's just toxic. Passive-aggressive, toxic, you know, can be not so fun, can be really great, though. So, I mean, like, there are definitely some benefits. But, like, for example, following along with, like, news and updates of things that you like, such as our topic for tonight, which is game shows.
Game shows. We've talked a lot about how this summer seems to have some awesome game shows.
Yeah, and, like, game shows are kind of, like, a staple in really any culture that values like television and like streaming content. Like I know that, you know, I can really only speak for American culture, but even if you don't personally watch game shows, I bet like you could still name quite a few game shows. And like,
definitely.
You know what I mean? So I think that they're pretty prevalent even today, even when they're maybe not as popular as like the good old like GSN days.
And full disclosure, we're that couple who records Jeopardy.
Yeah, we definitely do. Definitely do.
So we definitely love our game shows.
Well, not anymore because we've decided, just a sidebar, just in case this ever like blows up at all, YouTube TV, we have a bone to pick with you.
Yeah, we've decided we're not going with YouTube TV anymore, and we've been pretty faithful for the couple of years it's been in existence.
Raise your price so much. It's ridiculous. Like,
So for those who don't follow along, YouTube TV has been presented as an alternative to traditional cable. It's been very popular among cable cutters, but the problem is that over the last 2 years, their price has nearly doubled from its introductory price from $34.99 to I think it's $64.99 now.
Right.
They just went up from $49.99 to $64.99 this week, and we're not happy about it.
No, that's ridiculous. So we will be switching to Hulu Live TV. Thank you very much. And luckily, a lot of the game shows that we watch pretty traditionally are on Hulu. And also I saw on like Netflix, they have now a pretty good like game show selection. Obviously, it's not like the day-to-day updates like Jeopardy, but it's like older seasons of Jeopardy and like the good kind of older game shows that maybe you watched in your parents' bed when you were at home sick as a kid or something like that.
Speaking of Netflix and game shows, I don't know that I can go back to The Floor is Lava.
Yeah, we watched an episode of that, and it had the potential to be so good, but I don't know what it was. It just didn't work. What did you think of it, though?
It was all right.
Yeah, there's just there are too many other really good game shows out there right now.
Like we've been on like a game show kick since the seasons ended.
Yeah.
And there's just so many better ones out there. And there's still other ones out there that I want to watch and don't have the time to.
Yeah.
So I think The Floor is Lava is not going to get an episode 2 watch.
It's not getting added into the rotation for sure.
Not at all.
For sure.
Not at all.
We will be focusing tonight specifically due to the nature of our podcast on like more of like the couple-y game shows. And we're going to be talking about some game shows that come to mind when we think of like specifically couple-centered game shows and how we think we would do, you and I.
Okay.
If we were going to be on those game shows.
All right.
Do you have one to start with?
I think we would do very poorly at The Amazing Race.
I never watched that, actually. What is it just like...
I don't think either of us are physical enough.
What is it, though? We should explain what all of them are in case someone isn't familiar.
So I haven't really watched it, except for the one hilarious clip of the woman catching a watermelon in the face. But it's usually challenges as they travel around the world.
Okay.
And have to, like, solve riddles and stuff, I believe.
Is it specific to couples, though?
Well, it's pairs.
Okay, so not like
it's a two-person team.
Partners
it's a two-person team. There's a lot of couples. There's a lot of best friends. There's bros. There's mother-daughter. There's all sorts of combos. But, you know, there are a lot of couples who are involved in that.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, we would be very bad at it.
Yeah, I agree. But why we have to say why we think we'd be bad at it?
It's way too physical for either one of us.
Yeah, and I feel like you and I are both very stubborn, but also very, like, not necessarily respectful of authoritative decisions that we don't agree with. So if there's, like, a task that we think is stupid, we probably just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, probably not.
So I think what is it, Amazing Race?
The Amazing Race, that's straight out.
Would definitely be a no. For me, something I think that we could be pretty good at, however, is more of like a classic game. And I think there are a lot of iterations of it, but what I know it as is the Newlywed Game. And we're not newlyweds anymore, but...
I think we kind of proved that with, what was it, episodes 2 and 3?
Yeah, like the tags and stuff like that. Yeah, like I said, different iterations for all types of different like platforms, and it's named a bunch of different things on different networks and things like that. What it is, if you're not familiar, basically is like the person who's being silent is asked the question that their partner will be answering, and they, as it pertains to them, they write down their answer, and then their partner, not knowing what the person has written down, has to answer that question about their spouse and then reveal the answers. And if they match, then they win points or something. I don't know. But I can imagine it being something that would get a lot of people in trouble, especially considering that it's like at one point was a nationally televised program. And I'm pretty sure they love it when like couples don't have the same answer. So there's like that level of like embarrassment and stuff. But if you know your partner, or if you're comfortable with like your partner not knowing every single detail about you, then I think that could be a really fun game. And like I said, it can be in lots of iterations, such as the husband tag, the wife tag, things like that. What do you think?
I think we would do pretty well. Like I said, episodes 2 and 3, we did pretty well at guessing how the other person's going to answer on most things.
Yeah.
I think we do really well at that one.
We went on a cruise like when we were truly newlyweds with my parents.
Yeah, we had been married a year.
Yeah.
Or almost.
You're a newlywed up to a year, I think. But
sure.
There was like a call out for couples to participate in like their version of the Newlywed Game on the cruise, and we were like, no, I don't think so. Just because, I don't know.
I do think that the one place that we would struggle is you on stage. You don't like to be the center of attention, and that might cause issues with nerves.
I actually have quite a theatrical / stage background. I don't know if you remember this about me at all, or me telling this about you, but I was in like different performance groups and like plays and things like that really throughout like college. So, I mean, on stage it's a bit different than like being that's actually much easier for me than being in like a one-on-one setting. But what I was going to say is I think that the Newlywed Game would be a lot more fun if it was like a game night activity with people that we know.
Yes.
Rather than being like on a cruise ship with like these randos that like you have nothing in common except that you want attention for the night. So
yeah.
I think that would be like such a fun thing to do with like some of our couple friends that we have, and agree or disagree if you're listening. But yeah,
who we are hoping to have as guests on the show soon.
Yeah.
We're hoping to have some of our couple friends join us for an episode.
Yeah, we got some talks going on. So, look out for updates on that. Do you have another game show?
So I can't really think of a whole lot of like couples game shows. So I'm going to kind of swerve to team oriented.
Okay.
I think we do really good at Don't, which is kind of our new guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it is like a 4-person game.
Yeah. So like a family.
Yeah.
Team show.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether it's you and me and our friend couples or brother and sister-in-law, or
who actually would do really well with that with us, I think, is Sarah and Luke. Sarah
that
being
would be fun.
My sister and her fiance.
Yes.
Just because like they're very like my sister and I can match energies very, very well. Tim's nodding emphatically. Yeah. And Luke is just like into it. He's just into everything all the time. He's such a cutie. He's like, let's do it. So I think that, yeah, if we had like us and a couple would do it, it would be really fun.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed watching that show. It's brand new. And I mean, we both love Adam Scott, and Ryan Reynolds is amazing.
Yeah.
So we've loved that show, and I thought we could do really well, except on the Don't Drink Challenge.
Yeah, you would not be the one competing on that.
No.
That one, I think we talked about that challenge specifically when we talked about this game show at one point, but if you didn't catch that episode, that was a challenge where basically someone was walking on a treadmill
under heat
lamps and ate increasingly like high Scoville levels of peppers.
Yep. Jalapeno, Thai chili, habanero, and ghost pepper.
Mm-hmm. And after each pepper was presented with a beverage, which one of them was like lemonade, which I was like, why would you give this poor guy
you
lemonade?
Still can't get over the whole lemonade thing.
That's so irresponsible. If you eat a spicy pepper, dude, for God's sake, do not drink lemonade. Something acidic that's gonna like scorch your mouth and like strip it of cells on top of what you've already done to it.
You already don't have cells if you're eating those peppers.
Honestly, but yeah, don't drink lemonade.
Yeah. What's the next one on your list?
Mine is Minute to Win It.
Okay.
Which, if you're not familiar, is basically
I've only watched a couple episodes of that one.
It's like a task-oriented game show where and it's not, again, this is not specific to like romantic couples. It's really any two people. But most of the people I've seen have been couples. And what it is you have a minute to do different tasks. Maybe you have to complete a certain number of things in under a minute, or you have to, you know what I mean? So... and every time you don't make it, it's like a strike against you. And every time you complete that level, it's another however many $100 or $1,000 won. And it's up to $1 million, I think. It's like if you complete all the challenges without getting 3 strikes. So, and it was like hosted by Guy Fieri at one point. Like
Flavor Town.
Back in like the prime Triple D days. It was hosted by Guy Fieri.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think you and I actually could do very well because I've seen you compete in high pressure types of scenarios. Like I know that you played like different party game things when we had like, that weekend with your friends in Panama City and stuff. And like, so I think you're really good under pressure. And that's why I think we actually would be like pretty okay. And the thing is too, is like to an extent, the couples are allowed to select because most of them, only one person out of the couple is doing the challenge. There are some of them that involve both of them at the same time. But especially since you can select, like, maybe one is more detail-oriented, maybe one is more speed, so you can take the skill level of each person and present them as the person who's going to complete it. So considering that we have different abilities and skill levels and things like that, I think that actually could be, like, pretty fun. And we'd probably get, like, a ton of money.
It's ironic that you say that I would be good under pressure, because the next one I was going to say we'd be bad at for the exact same reason.
What is it?
Family Feud. I don't think well under pressure. I'm more on the team side of things. You know, ones that we would participate in together, but it wouldn't just be us, because I can't think of a whole lot of 2-person game shows.
I mean, if you don't think that you would, which I disagree with, but if you don't think that you would think well under pressure, I think that you act well under pressure.
That may be, but Family Feud, I don't think I would do well in.
I do.
Or we would.
I have, like, watched that show, like, you know, alongside my mom. And, like, we always like to play along at home, which is the point of those games, you know, to get, like, audience interest and things like that. And I feel like I'm actually, like, pretty good at that game, to be honest.
Incidentally, though, you and your sister could not participate in the final round together. Because you match energies, you just give the same answers.
I know. They would, like, just be like, try again for every single thing.
Yeah, all 5.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, and I mean, there are some pretty funny, like, compilation fail videos of, like, people who give the stupidest answers on Family Feud. I don't think you'd give a stupid answer, so I don't think you would appear on a compilation video, if that makes you feel any better.
Okay, but we wouldn't be taking home any prizes either.
Well, it wouldn't all be on you. There'd be, what, like 4 other people other than yourself?
3 or 4. I can't remember if it's a 4 or 5-person team, but...
I mean, they can't all be winners. Let's just say that. My next one is, and I can't remember the name. I was hoping you could help me. But I just know, like, when your mom was over one time, we were, like, talking about it. And it's, like, hosted by, like, Chris... What's his face?
You talking The Wall?
Yeah, The Wall. The Wall.
Chris Hardwick.
Yes. Yes. I think
produced by LeBron James.
I think based on the intelligence aspect, I think you would do very well. But based on the, like, pressure and seclusion aspect of that game, I would not do well. Do you want to tell people what it is? I mean, the honest truth
is I've never watched it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember my mom having watched it a lot, and I've, like, caught it a bunch in the background. And I've seen, like, again, compilation videos of, like, you can't believe what happened. From my understanding, what it is basically is, like, up to a certain point, the couples answer questions together. I might be completely wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But they answer questions together, and then at a certain point, one of them decides they're going to answer questions by themselves, and, like, the other person is up in, like, a soundproof room by themselves.
Right.
And, like... Right. So I think that, yeah, that aspect for me, like, the being away from you and being around people that are just, like, putting soundproof earmuffs on me and stuff, like, that part I wouldn't do that well with. But I think any type of, like, trivia style game, I think you and I would do pretty well at.
Yeah, as long as we don't have to be quick thinking. Like, if we could take a couple of seconds to think about it, we'd be good.
I don't know, though. You're really good at, like, when we watch Jeopardy and you play along, I feel like you're pretty good at it. Well, obviously, there's, like, you know, you don't answer every question, but I don't know who does answer every question. You know what I mean? Like, I think...
That one dude,
yeah. What was his name? James something?
Yeah, James.
Yeah. Anytime I play along with Jeopardy, I'm like, wait, pause it. I know this one. And, like, especially when they do double Jeopardy and they show the answer on the screen, I'm like, pause it. And then I'm like, wait, what was it? And I, like, talk out loud with myself until I arrive at the answer. So
super fun.
Yeah. And yeah, so if I win on Jeopardy, I wouldn't do that well. But I think you do actually do a lot better than you think you do at quick response answers.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think of myself as always being able to think quickly.
Well, maybe you're not that arrogant.
I mean, I'm pretty arrogant.
You have talents that you don't recognize as being talents. And that's pretty cool.
I don't really have anything else. I would say, though, that, like, standard bar trivia we do pretty well at.
We do, yeah. Trivia is pretty good. Trivia in general is just fun, even if you don't do all that well. Oh, wait, I do have one more, actually. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. It was on... Okay, so here was what the show was called. Oh, wait, it's called Parental Control. That's what it was. I just
Not familiar with this one.
So it came on MTV in, like, I don't know, the late 2000, 2009, 2010, I can't remember.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
And what it was, here's what it was. So it's called Parental Control. The two people are in a relationship, and the partner of the person, the parents don't like them for one reason or another. And they always say at the introduction, like, I don't like blah blah's boyfriend because he does this, or he doesn't respect her, or whatever. And it shows like a little montage of like basically the boyfriend corroborating that he's like not a good boyfriend or whatever. So what happens is the parents have selected, I think, two other guys for the person, their daughter, to go out on a date with. And they watch the whole thing. Like the girlfriend or the boyfriend sits with the parents while they watch the girlfriend go on these two dates with these other guys. And at the end of the day, the girl comes back and she has to decide if she's going to stay. And it's like any combination of boyfriend, girlfriend, 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 boyfriend, boyfriend, whatever. But she has to decide if she's going to stay with her boyfriend or if she's going to break up with him and start dating one of the two new guys that her parents have selected for her.
That sounds horrible. And why would we? Well, we'd be good at being the parents?
No, we'd be good at being like, well, I don't know that we obviously wouldn't be on there because I don't know that any of our parents have like hated us enough to be like, you should date someone else. But it just made me think of it because that was like truly like a couple show.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what type of role we would be in on this show.
Well, if we were like the person that say like your mom was like, you should date someone else or whatever, and then
you'd be that somebody else.
No, I would be the one sitting on the couch with her and watching you go on the dates, and then you'd come back and be like, obviously I want to be...
Yeah, because you could totally watch me go on dates with other people.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some of the episodes were actually, from my memory, they were like pretty harsh. And it's like, how disrespectful do you have to be as a parent to be like, I want you to sit and watch my child go on dates with other people because I hate you that badly.
I don't think you thought this one all the way through.
I
don't think it would be good.
It just came to me because I was like trying to think of maybe one more couple-centered game show. And obviously we would not appear on that in any capacity, the parents or the people dating. Because
that's what I was trying to figure out, like how this one came into the equation.
It's a couple-centered game show, I guess you could say. Like, I remember at one of the episodes,
feels more reality.
I remember in one of the episodes, it was the son. Like, the son was the one that were like had the parents that were concerned, and so he went on 2 dates with these other ladies, and like the girlfriend sat with the parents all day and she was like so upset. And then he came back and they make you do the whole spiel of like, you know, oh, who am I gonna choose at the end? But he drops down on one knee and proposes to his actual girlfriend, and the parents after that are thrilled. They're like, oh my god, we can't wait until they get married and stuff. And that, for whatever reason, that one just stuck with me.
Yeah, that sounds like a game show in the way that The Bachelor is a game show.
I mean,
it's not.
Define a game show. It's a game, is it not?
It's a reality show.
You're trying to win something.
Is Love Island a game show?
Yeah.
No.
You're trying to win something.
No, that's reality TV.
It can be both. Porque no los dos. It can be both.
Yeah, no. Survivor, I would qualify as a game show.
How is that any different? How?
Anyway.
No. How is that different? Because
for one, $1 million.
Okay, you win a lot of money on Love Island too.
How much?
I don't know. 100,000, I think. So the amount of money is what qualifies it as a game show to you?
Whether the show is centered around competition.
It is competition. It's just competition with other people.
That's what all competition is.
But like a romantic competition. You're putting the inclusion of romance in it as an exclusion of the criteria of a game show.
The romance being the driving factor makes it reality.
the romance is like the what's behind the like driving force of people, but the challenge, like in Love Island, there are challenges and there are games that people have to play to win, and there's a couple at the end who wins money. How is that any different? I feel like that's very exclusionist of you, because
then I am exclusionist. I do not consider either one of those to be game shows.
Well, let us know. Do you think that Love Island and any other romance style, The Bachelor, anything like that, can be considered a game show?
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Marital Tiffs.
Yeah, I definitely want to know from you guys. First of all, we missed you so much, and I don't foresee us taking a break for a little while.
No, we'll definitely keep going.
Yeah, and we'll try to update you. We have some, I think, in our opinion, some pretty exciting things coming, so definitely follow along, and we will keep you updated as we know more. But yeah, I definitely want to know, because Tim, I don't know about that, but if I'm wrong, tell me. Do you think that the factor of love should exclude it from being a game show?
You can weigh in on all social media at Marital Tiffs on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also email us at maritaltiffs@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe anywhere you find your podcast. If you're an Apple Podcast listener, please rate and review us. You can find us on the 910 Comedy Podcast Network alongside our sister shows, That's Just My Face, Hometown Crowd, and Dead Girls Talking. Check out more on 910 Comedy on Facebook. Thanks for listening to Marital Tiffs.